flat bank at the doorstep of my caravan. You don't care, do you, kiddo? And that's how much they care. Look, he's right there. Morning, folks. Well, should I say afternoon now. A bit of another lazy morning. It is Wednesday the 5th of June and I'm just about to set off on my travels to Wray Castle. Got all my kit sorted out, just doing the final checks. So yeah, it's not theoretically going to be that bad a weather today, but the old scout motto is be prepared, so I'm prepared. Got my wet weather gear with me, and then yeah, I'll catch you on the walk. Ciao. Joining me on the path to Brockholes, Brockhole Jetty, and hopefully there'll be a ferry or a steamer. I think he said Night Warden was on last night. Said it was a steamer, not an actual ferry. So hopefully there'll be a steamer to get me to Wray Castle, or at least the west bank of Windermere. So yeah, I was going to show you some of this scenery that I've got the pleasure of actually looking at. I mean, for a holiday destination, what more could you ask for, really? There's still a bit of cloud line around, and it's not the best. It's not the best location. If I can get across there and get up to Clay of Heights, I'll bring you back when I get up to when I get to Clay of Heights as well. But this is the road I'm walking down, the main road to Ambleside from Bowness. Oh, more sheep. If you haven't figured it already, that's going to be that's a theme of these videos: sheep. More sheep. Puns in the comments below. Puns are always welcome. Innuendos, always welcome. Let them rip. But no smelly ones. We don't want no smelly ones. Actually, you know, you can put your smelly ones out. We don't have smelly vision yet. That may come with technology as it is doing. Yeah. 5 days without the internet. A lovely technology detox. Everybody should have a technology detox at least once a year. Clears the mind. Right, I'm at Brockhole Jetty now. Just bought my ticket, £9 for a round trip. It's on the green timetable, or the green route. Which goes from Brockhole to Ambleside to Wray Castle and back again. So £9, and it can be used as a hop-on, hop-off service, so that's good. Chap at the ticket office, very helpful. Give me a timetable and everything. So spin you around and give you a look at this map. So we're on that map, on that timetable today. They also do the red timetable as well, which takes you back down, which will take you to Bowness. Doesn't take you to Wray Castle, that one. So I'm looking at the 12. Where is it? 12:40. 12:40. I think he said. Yeah, 12:40 departure from Brockhole. So that is giving us 15 minutes, around about 15 minutes travel time. So yeah, so look at that view. And it was raining when I set off, but it's not raining now. Here we're now aboard the Princess of the Lake. Setting off from Brockhall on, I believe, on our way up to Ambleside, and then back down to Wray Castle. So I'll leave you with some snapshots of the journey. Enjoy. Hello, I put the shades on, it's going to be bright now. I'm just in Borrens Park, just outside Waterhead, Ambleside, and I'm going to have a cheeky look at Galava, an old Roman fort, and hopefully there'll be some information boards which will give a little bit of a history of the place. Now, there was a Roman settlement here at Ambleside or Waterhead, and I'm guessing it would have been a direct link to Hardknott Roman Fort, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to spin you around, give you a... I'm going to zoom in. Pause the video if you want to read that. So yeah, artist impression of what the fort would have looked like, what the fort may have looked like. So let's have a wander round, and you can see why they would have picked this spot. Nice open field. So yeah, close to the lake, so they could transport goods and troops if they needed to. So here we are. We are now at the main gate, or what would have been the main gate. Zoom in again so you can have a look at that. We're going to walk the outer wall first, I think. My camera skills are still not great. We're going to get a sense of the size. So that's the main gate. So I'm guessing we're walking on the outer wall at the moment to the main gate. So let's just see where we go. I certainly don't pity them being stationed at this particular fort, because it's rather windy. Rather windy coming off the lake. So I guess in winter it would have been extremely Baltic. Angle tower. Well, that's pleasant, isn't it? Killed inside the fort by an enemy. So let's troll. Go down to this side. I'm guessing now we're heading. I'm going to assume we're heading towards limited accommodation, toilets, kitchens, maybe even just barracks. But we'll find out. But there's a lot more layout. And now this site's it's protected by the National Trust and it's run by the National Trust, so they keep an eye on it all. So we're now in the heart of the fort. So we've got the Commander's Officer's house, which is to my left, which is there, I'm guessing, which is this one here. Headquarters and granary buildings. So, again, pause the video if you want to read this. There we go. Let's have we'll do a reasonably full circle so I can give you a reasonable. I don't have a stick, so I can't raise you up higher. But the Romans were ingenious builders. So this would have, I'm guessing this is what the granary would have looked like as a foundation layout. It's not really, you can't really get a sense of the size or scale of the building insofar as the height. It gives you some sense. I mean, we've got a lot to thank the Roman invasion for. Oh, we've got a pit. Again, there's no. Comment below if anyone knows what this was or what could have been. Maybe a bath. If this was the officer's main chamber, if this was the officer's chamber, could have been a bath of some description for the officers. Not for your regular troops, they would have had their own probably. But Yes, my knowledge on Roman history is very limited. Very limited, to say the least. But they were ingenious they were ingenious builders, using local material to build the buildings. Let's go on down to this other board. There's another board down here, so I'm going to have a look at that, see what that's to say. Maybe some snapshots of the scenery as well. Take out our modern roads and modern buildings, and just imagine what it would possibly look like when the Romans were actually here. Now, as I say, it was probably a fort. I'm guessing this was one of the direct line forts from Hardknott Roman Pass. Hardknott Roman fort up at Hardknott Pass near Eskdale. There would have been a direct route up Hardknott Pass, down Winrose Pass, and they would have come probably to another fort before this one. I've not seen it on a map. It may have only been a wayport, a way station for troop replenishment or storage for night passage. If indeed there ever actually was another fort. So we're now at yes, where are we? We're now at Clapper's Gate, or close to Clapper's Gate, which is over in that direction somewhere, according to the map. So we're going to have a look at this board, then we're going to have to be making headway back, because around about 1:30 is my connecting ferry to Wray Castle. I'll zoom you in, and if you want to have a read, feel free to pause the video here. I will join you back on the launch to Wray Castle. Peace.
Sadly, so we got orders to California. It was such a
On the trip now back to Wray Castle. I'm going to get off there and have a wander around. Wind's picking up a bit now. On a different launch this time. So this is a double-deck launch. More of a modern one. So yeah, catch you back, and I'll leave you with some of the trip to Wray Castle.
It's better.
2.5 miles long. As widest point is 1 mile across. The average depth is 30 feet or 12 metres, falling away to a maximum depth of 220 feet or 67 metres. It's fed by 4 main rivers. We have the Wray and Wray up in the northern basin. Below Brockhall we have Troutbeck, and in the southern basin there is Cunzibeck. They in turn top up Windermere to its average capacity.
We're now at Wray Castle, just outside the boathouse at the pier jetty. I'll give you some views on that on the return journey. So now we're going to follow for the castle itself. We're on top of hill with Wray Castle. Those are some of the views. And hopefully, yeah, I'm guessing that's the main entrance. So, I think it's time for a coffee. See if I can't get a coffee somewhere and then have a look inside. And hopefully they'll allow filming and I'll bring you back when we get inside. The first time Beatrix Potter actually came to the Lake District, she actually stayed here for her first holiday. Now it turns out that her family used to go to Scotland for their holidays, and the property that they used to go to was sold off. So her father found this place and said, right, we're going to the Lake District. So yeah, first time she ever came, she stayed here. Fell in love with the place, fell in love with the Lake District. It turns out she only stayed here once, but she did come back to the Lake District, as we know. Otherwise she would never have written the Peter Rabbit stories and the Tom Kittens and Tiggy Winkle, just to name a few. So yeah, we're about 5 minutes. Just the main entrance. So we're inside one of the rooms now. It's hard. When this place was took over by the National Trust, there was nothing in it. It was basically a bare shell. They've got a few photos. There are very few actual photos of what this building looked like inside. This one here is the room that we're in now. And that, compared to what we see, it's just a bare shell. Now, the National Trust have got a very hard job because they're not actually allowed to do much in respect of the building, because conservation reasons, and they've got to find out what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. And then so they basically they can only preserve and mark the damage. Let's go on a Peter Rabbit adventure. Through these doors. It doesn't matter how old you get. These stories, by Beatrix Potter, never age. Hello again, I've just come outside of Wray Castle now, and yeah, there's not much to see inside, because of the lack of history that was left behind over the many uses of the building. It's been a holiday let from when it was first built as a private residence. It's been a holiday let. It's been used by the Navy as a radio operators nautical college for radio, dealing with things like Maydays, SOS, Morse code, that kind of thing. 1950s, I believe it was, and then it was empty again after that, and then the National Trust opened it up again. I believe it was 2015. But they've got a very difficult job because they're not allowed to do anything to the building itself without permission. So they can't do any painting unless they know exactly what kind of paint to use. They can't clean the floors properly unless they've got permission down to what they can clean it with. So it's like, I was in that 10-minute talk at the beginning, and lass were saying they're only dry mopping at the moment, and they've also got to be careful when they're dusting, so as to not actually do any damage. Any repairs that do need to be done, they can only catalogue them. They can't actually fix them as such. So yeah, a very difficult job for the National Trust, this. And it's only been open to the public for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. Because something to do with, they've got to have 100,000 visitors a year to warrant staying open. Apparently it's taken them at least 4 years to get to that site, to get to that number. So yeah. Shout out to the National Trust for doing a remarkable job with so much red tape. But yeah, it's definitely worth a visit. Definitely worth a visit, if only to give the kids something to keep themselves occupied. And then, but if you have a little wander around the grounds now, and yeah, I'll give you a little view. But we're just going to nip in here. Summer house, I'm guessing. Greenhouse. Puts our greenhouses, modern greenhouses, to shame, doesn't it, this? And I don't think it's an actual greenhouse. It's more like a summer house. But yeah, wow. Lazy Sunday afternoons. Sitting there with your tea and scones, with your morning tea or afternoon tea or something like that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, watch out into the wind.
Alright folks, bit late this outro, a bit on the late side. Got back off the ferry, I think it was 5 o'clock. Got back to lodge about 5 o'clock, and yeah, totally forgot to do an outro to that. Been up to restaurant, had some food, had a couple of pints of Doom Bar up there, and also had a cheeky beer off camera. Tribute Cornish Pale Ale. So yeah, so that's part 2 for you guys and gals and those of the quadruped variety. Until tomorrow, however you enjoy the outdoors, remember, stay safe, behave, pick up your litter and be prepared. And I'll catch you on part 3. Peace.